Tonight on SRU Nightly News.
Another household in Grove City falls victim to a fire.
A train derails in Palestine, Ohio.
And Mayor Longo proposes a program to help solve the EMS shortage in the area. All this and more on SRU Nightly News.
Welcome back to SRU Nightly News. I'm Brandon Pierce.
And I'm Bex Preneta.
A fire broke out over the weekend at a Grove City residence. On Sunday, February 5th, a fire broke out at a home on Lee Avenue after a homeowner's dog reportedly knocked something over within the home. The owner of the home had already made it safely outside by the time emergency services arrived. They were then transported to a local hospital for treatment. The dog was rescued by first responders and is said to be in stable condition. This fire comes roughly a week after another Grove City fire, in which 2 people lost their lives.
On Friday, residents of East Palestine, Ohio endured a frightening night as a 100-car train derailed, causing a devastating accident. Just before midnight, a red ball of flames burst into the air as the train came off the tracks. Fire quickly engulfed the surrounding area. Nearly 70 first responder agencies arrived at the scene, working to contain the fire as it continued to spread. 2,000 of East Palestine's 4,900 residents were in the directly affected area. Details on the contents of the train caused more concern. A member of the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, confirmed that 10 of the train cars that derailed were carrying a hazardous material known as vinyl chloride. Officials began planning for a second explosion as the fire raged into the next day. Residents were asked to evacuate East Palestine, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro asked Pennsylvania residents within 2 miles of the accident to shelter indoors and leave their windows closed. In an effort to avoid an explosion, officials began a controlled release of the hazardous gas into the air. Residents were not allowed to return to their homes until an air quality check could be conducted. NTSB officials say that an investigation into the accident is underway. They have already recovered the train's recorder box. The investigation will take 18 to 24 months.
On Friday, February 3rd, Mars area varsity basketball team faced off against South Fayette. The nail-biting game, which went into 3 overtimes, ended with South Fayette coming out on top. However, just moments after the Mars varsity team returned to their locker room, an athletic trainer rushed in to inform the coach and team of a potential gunman on campus. The Mars varsity coach, Rob Carmody, had this to say. According to the coach Carmody, quote, "The first thing we told our guys was to let your families know you were safe." He went on to ask them to refrain from posting on social media as not to start rumors or a panic. The coach estimates that 500 people attended Friday's night's game. Those in the locker room heard footsteps above them as the audience re-entered the gymnasium to shelter inside. Once the police arrived on the scene and took the suspect into custody, the teams and spectators received word that it was safe to exit the building. Police have not released the name of the suspect or other specific details from the incident, which is still under investigation.
Members of a local Brownie troop are collecting donations to benefit the Butler County Humane Society. The Brownie troop is collecting a range of supplies, from dog and cat food to leashes to cat litter. Members of the Brownie troop have also made blankets and toys for the animals at the shelter. If you're interested in helping out, donations can be dropped off at the Mars Elementary School during school hours. Donors have until February 15th to drop their donations.
The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture is urging state residents to be on the lookout for spotted lantern fly eggs. The eggs can be found on cars, machinery, shed doors, and trees. Disposing of these eggs will ensure that spotted lantern flies will not be an issue on your vehicles when spring comes. As you can see in these photos, which were provided by the Department of Agriculture, spotting these eggs masses can sometimes be difficult. The Department of Agriculture describes the egg masses as dark gray or white. They suggest destroying the eggs by scraping them into an alcohol solution or smashing them with a stick or object with a flat surface, such as a spatula. The most important thing is to ensure that every egg has been crushed or popped. Spotted lanternflies are known for destroying agriculture and producing a black, sooty mold when they feed.
A Slippery Rock alumnus is currently working as the Creative Arts Manager for the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh. Kat Burton, who graduated with a degree in Communication, Integrated Marketing in 2017, has a passion for the line where art meets fashion. It is Burton's second year in this position. Her hope is to boost children's creativity while helping emerging artists find the right opportunities for themselves. Children having opportunities to be creative is something Burton feels strongly about. When talking with Newcastle News, Burton had this to say. Quote, "Arts are often not a priority in the public school systems. Children need a creative outlet and a place to express themselves." End quote. For Burton, her passion started during her time at SRU. She was involved in several organizations, including the Office for Inclusive Excellence and mentoring for the Jumpstart program. She held leadership positions in several student-run organizations. Burton also founded her own production company, Create Art Together. This company creates visuals, events, and shows for independent clients, organizations, and bands. Anytime we have the opportunity to cover a Slippery Rock alumnus, we are honored to highlight their successes.
Mayor John David Longo is proposing an incentive program to help rebuild the number of emergency responders in the Slippery Rock area. The proposal includes a tax credit for anyone living in the borough who serves as a volunteer or paid firefighter, EMT or paramedic, or police officer for the borough, university, or Butler County. According to a report produced by the PA Health Department, Pennsylvania saw a significant number of EMS certifications expire in 2021, totaling over 4,000 expired certifications. For reference, PA Emergency Services responded to over 2 million incidents in 2021 alone. Recruitment and retention of EMS personnel is a vital issue discussed statewide. Local EMS responders in the Slippery Rock area are enthusiastic about the program.
I've spoken with the chief and the assistant chief about this proposal, and they think that it's a great idea, as they've told me, and we've had some conversations about how it could be an opportunity to create incentivization or motivation for individuals, not just to get involved as a first responder, but then to stay active as a first responder. And
the mayor says that the program will not result in a tax increase for area residents, and he hopes to have the program implemented by the end of the month. To view our full interview with Mayor Longo, visit our YouTube page. When we return, what actions the U.S. took against a Chinese spy balloon that entered into the American airspace?
Hi, I'm Rob Disman, and I'm the owner of your local Domino's Slippery Rock. I started out with Domino's as a delivery driver when I was in college. Ended up really liking the job. Worked my way up through management to the supervisor. I did that for about 10 years. My family, we decided that we couldn't really go any further with that, so we decided to go ahead and become a franchisee with Domino's. I'm lucky enough to have enough community support that most customers have become more than just customers, they're more like friends. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this community for 20 years, and I look forward to many more years.
Welcome back. Over the course of last week, a suspected Chinese spy balloon floated across America at a high altitude. Government officials said they were hesitant to shoot it down at first, out of fear of debris falling into populated areas. The balloon drifted over several of our country's military bases, including nuclear warheads. Early last week, China confirmed that the balloon belonged to them. However, they claimed the balloon was for measuring weather. U.S. officials do not believe this to be the case, instead believing that the Chinese government used this balloon to record or photograph military installations from a close range. Republicans and some Democrats were quick to criticize the Biden administration for not taking quicker action to shoot it out of the sky. On Saturday, however, President Biden gave the order for the balloon to be shot down once it made its way off the coast of South Carolina.
Holy.
China's initial response to the balloon being shot down was anger and condemnation, but they have since backed down. Currently, there is another balloon flying over Latin America. China maintains that the second balloon, like the first, is nothing more than a weather balloon blown off course.
George Santos is back in the news this week, once again tangled in controversy. Derek Myers, who is a prospective staffer for Santos's office, alleges that he filed a police report and a House ethics complaint of sexual harassment against a congressman. According to Myers' complaint, the harassment took place on Wednesday, January 25th in Santos's office at Capitol Hill. The claim states that Santos touched Myers' groin and invited him back to his home, telling Myers his husband was out of town. After Myers rejected the congressman's advances, he learned that his offer of employment had been revoked. Santos gave a statement to reporters at Capitol Hill on the matter.
Can you talk to me about Derek Myers and his alleging that you made an unwanted sexual advance for him?
It's comical.
If you deny the claim against you?
Of course I deny the claim against. Let me make it clear.
Thank you.
If there was any part of that were true, he should have led with that and not begged for a job that we decided to pull from him for being accused of doing exactly what he did to us.
And just a follow-up. So you categorically deny it?
100%.
Per Santos's statement to the KHOU 11 reporter, he categorically denies the allegations. This is not the first controversy that Congressman Santos had found himself in, as we previously reported. Among others, he is being accused of lying about his family history, work experience, and personal life. Over the weekend, producers for the Spider-Man Broadway play, which ran from 2011 to 2014, denied the congressman's claims that he was a producer of the show.
President Biden delivered his third State of the Union address last night. The address was delivered to a Congress that is somewhat skeptical of his actions as president. In the speech, President Biden called for unity, seeking to create a government that works together even if the two parties don't always agree. He referenced the bipartisan accomplishments of the last 2 years as proof that the major political parties could work together, listing them off one by one. He asked the Republican members of Congress to continue committing to working together. President Biden spoke of connecting with the American people who are still dealing with the effects of the pandemic. There were moments of contention during the president's address, as well as moments of unified celebration. President Biden emphasized the need to make medications such as insulin available to the American people at an affordable cost. Throughout his speech, the president often used the term, "Let's finish the job." The State of the Union address tonight was not just a report card for the American people. It may have also been a glimpse into the direction of President Biden's re-election efforts.
Food service vendor Aramark, which Slippery Rock University currently uses, has issued an apology for what they referred to as unintentionally insensitive Black History Month menu. On Wednesday, February 1st, students at NYE at Nyack Middle School were served chicken and waffles with a choice of watermelon for dessert. Aramark spoke with reporters about the situation, stating that it should never have happened. When talking to NBC News, Aramark had this to say. Quote, "We have apologized for our mistake. We are working to determine how it happened and to make sure it never happens again." However, this isn't the first time the food vendor has found itself in this situation. In 2011, Aramark served the students of the University of California, Irvine, chicken and waffles on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In 2018, as part of its Black History Month menu, the vendor served students of New York University a meal of barbecue ribs, collard greens, and cornbread with watermelon-flavored drinks. At the time of the 2011 incident, Aramark representatives said that the plans were being put in place to have their managers and chefs attend sensitivity trainings.
Coming up, a special interview with local nonprofit Growing Together Aquaponics.
Hi, I'm Rob Disman, and I'm the owner of your local Domino's Slippery Rock. I started out with Domino's as a delivery driver when I was in college. Ended up really liking the job. Worked my way up through management to the supervisor. I did that for about 10 years. My family, we decided that we couldn't really go any further with that, so we decided to go ahead and become a franchisee with Domino's. I'm lucky enough to have enough community support that most customers have become more than just customers, they're more like friends. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this community for 20 years, and I look forward to many more years.
Welcome back. Today, joining us in the studio is local nonprofit organization Growing Together Aquaponics. With us today from Growing Together is Kendall, the education coordinator for the organization. So Kendall, tell me a little bit more about Growing Together Aquaponics.
So Growing Together Aquaponics is a transitional program for people with disabilities throughout all ages around like the Slippery Rock communities, and we actually branch out to like 45 minutes away.
Very nice. So what type of services do you do there?
So we are currently an OVR site for the kids to come in through high school, but we're also just job training in general, so people can pay for independent or however they want to come in.
Cool. So tell me a little bit more, what exactly is aquaponics?
So aquaponics is kind of crazy. It doesn't really sound like what it is. So there's fish tanks, and then there's plants. So they use all the nutrients from the fish, they break it down, use that beneficial bacteria, and then grow the plants. The plants then use that water to suck up and grow, and then they send it back to the fish and clean it.
That's really cool. So, as I understand it, you also outsource to North Country a little bit, your products. Tell me a little bit about that, like what happens there?
Yeah, so they were our first partner, and they're really great. They donated the space to us, so we're in the canning facility down by the credit union. So we're a little slice of heaven in their canning warehouse, and then we send all of our produce back as payment for using the electric, water, and all that. So they have lettuce, microgreens, or anything that they want to grow, we've grown before.
That's really neat. So how did you get involved with Growing Together?
So I was at Slippery Rock for my undergrad, didn't know what I wanted to do, just wanted to work with people with disabilities. So I started the master's program for adaptive physical activity, and then I got on as a grad assistant with one of my coworkers currently, Marina Toth, and then we started the program. She was there, and then we both just got on and never left.
Very nice. So what is your favorite part of working with Growing Together?
Honestly, just watching the kids grow from knowing absolutely nothing all the way up to going out into their own workplace or staying with us. Our favorite thing is we grow together with the kids, which sounds kind of cheesy, but it's what we do.
So what type of students or kids do you work with?
So we range from anywhere around like the high school age for people transitioning out all the way up to 85. So it's kind of a very wide range of kids that come through our program.
Yeah, sounds really neat. And what type of skills do they learn there?
So So they learn anything from like how to harvest produce, feed the fish, and then all the way up to serve safe. So learning how to handle the food that we process out.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit more about Serve Safe. So what does that exactly entail?
So it's a food handling certificate. So they get to learn about how to keep food safe, what to do with it, and then how to manage it when it would be out in like a restaurant setting kind of deal. Very
nice. And one last question for you is, how did this organization get started? Whose idea was it?
So Dr. Arnhold was one of the organizers of the Adaptive Physical Activity Masters, and then he had this great idea after seeing an aquaponics site in the conference that he went to in 2017, I believe. And then in 2018, he said, I want to start this. So he walked down Main Street and he said that he met Bob McCafferty of North Country, and the two Bobs had an idea to start an aquaponics system. And then he gave us the space, and the rest was history.
That's really neat to see how this all started up like that. Well, that's all the time we got for today. Thank you, Kendall, for joining us on our show. And be sure to check out Growing Together Aquaponics whenever you get the chance. Stay tuned for after commercial for more interesting and exciting news stories.
Hi, I'm Rob Disman, and I'm the owner of your local Domino's Slippery Rock. I started out with Domino's as a delivery driver when I was in college. Ended up really liking the job. Worked my way up through management to the supervisor. I did that for about 10 years. My family, we decided that we couldn't really go any further with that, so we decided to go ahead and become a franchisee with Domino's. I'm lucky enough to have enough community support that most customers have become more than just customers, they're more like friends. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this community for 20 years, and I look forward to many more years.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and we have some exciting events happening on campus for you. On Thursday, February 9th, MedLife will be having a Valentine's Day fundraiser in the Smith Student Center during Common Hour. They will be selling individually wrapped heart-shaped cookies, artificial flowers, stickers, and chocolate bars.
Also, during Common Hour on Thursday, the Pre-Occupational Therapy Association will be selling chocolate-covered strawberries in the Smith Student Center.
Do you need a professional headshot for your resume? Then come to Rock PRSSA Headshot Fundraiser on Thursday, February 9th in the Smith Student Center Ballroom, room 319, or February 23rd in room 322 during Common Hour.
The American Society of Safety Professionals will be hosting a Before It's Too Late, a CPR and first aid training course certified through the American Red Cross. It will take place on Sunday, February 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Strain Safety Building. If you are interested in learning life-saving skills, you are able to sign up for the training on the American Society of Safety Professionals core page. This is also a $30 fee for attending the training. For more information, please visit CORE.
The Pride Center, McCoskey Center, Women's Center, Boost Peer Coaching, and Rock the Weekend will be hosting a Palestine Day on Saturday, February 11th from 7 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. in the Smith Student Center Theater. Come celebrate friendship and self-love with the organization. There will be a DIY stations for cards, vision boards, sugar scrub, cookie decoration, and more.
From February 8th to March 22nd, SRU's Languages, Literatures, Cultures, and Writing Department, along with the French Club, will host their annual French and Francophone Film Festival. The festival will show 6 screenings of French-speaking films with English subtitles. Tonight at 5 p.m. in the Eisenberg Classroom Building, room 111, the film festival will have its opening night with a screening of Les Andes Galants, a documentary about opera and hip-hop dancing. In-person screenings are free and open to the public, and students can also watch the films online too.
Coming up, St. Jude up till 2.
Hi, I'm Rob Disman, and I'm the owner of your local Domino's Slippery Rock. I started out with Domino's as a delivery driver when I was in college. Ended up really liking the job. Worked my way up through management to the supervisor. I did that for about 10 years. My family, we decided that we couldn't really go any further with that, so we decided to go ahead and become a franchisee with Domino's. I'm lucky enough to have enough community support that most customers have become more than just customers, they're more like friends. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this community for 20 years, and I look forward to many more years.
Join St. Jude up till 2 in their first annual Valentine's Paint and Support, where all campus community is welcome. The event will take place on Monday, February 13th from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. in the Vincent Science Center auditorium. The art supplies will be provided by the organization. It is $5 to get in, and all proceeds support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
And that's all we have for you tonight, Slippery Rock. I'm Bex Preneta.
And I'm Brandon Pierce. Have a great evening, SRU.